Welcome to Tammy Nation. Let's go.
I've been running from 9 to 5, been biting my tongue for all this time. Won't let anyone cut me short. I was thinking this was the way to go, and you put up your puppet show. I say cheers to life. No, I'll be no good man's wife. Just leave me alone. I'm running the show. I'm telling you, it's my time to rise up. Live the life I'm proud of. No, you better go home.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome this Friday night to Tammy Nation. It is a late night show that I decided to do tonight, talking about how we're dissecting men and women and trying to eliminate both and making people who are kind of in between, not sure if that's a good thing or not. So we'll discuss that tonight. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Mr. The Gymnastic. Awesome name. But I've got a few different things I want to talk about tonight. Some more stuff that I found on Twitter after work. I thought I'd do a late night thing here. It's not very often that I do it, but I thought, what the heck, I just got fired up watching some stuff on Twitter and social media and different things that I saw regarding, all this trans stuff that is going on. And I'm going to start tonight by welcoming everybody. Those of you watching who may not comment, but those who comment, you're free to comment anything that you want to comment. Like I said, it's open here. I'm just going to try to keep it easy so I don't get taken down. The thing is, I don't pay for Rumble, so it takes a while for my shows to get uploaded to Rumble. I pay for some StreamYard and stuff, so it does take a few days or a while for my shows to get uploaded to Rumble. So I have to be careful until I decide if I want to pay for Rumble or not, what I say on YouTube, because YouTube, as you know, takes us down. And as I'm talking about that, if you guys get a chance, subscribe to Tammy Nation 2. I do have that up and running and ready to go just in case. And maybe down the road, I will just go ahead and pay for Rumble and start doing lives on there to talk a little more freely. But the point is, I find it ironic that I have to still watch what I say and do. But all these people out there who are, let's say, extremist in one form or another with this transgender stuff, they can say and do whatever they want, and it seems to be a-okay. Good evening, Donna. It's good to see you as well. So I'd like to start tonight, you guys, by telling you a personal story I have with somebody actually in person that became transgender. It's a person I used to work with and I've still had contact with here and there. And I'm just going to give you my experience. This is my opinion. It's my experience. I know it's only one experience with somebody who was a male. He's become a female. And I'm going to tell you about that journey that I've had with this person and another friend of mine. But I also have a bunch of different little articles that I have that I'm going to pull up and talk about. That also ties into this. Unfortunately, I can't show some of these visuals because they're so graphic and I can't really show what they are. I can just tell you they're on Twitter. And there's this person that I follow is called Oli London. It's OLI LOND. And this person talks about the different issues and shows the examples as what's going on with the transgender movement. And I find it very enlightening. So I want to share that with you tonight. It is late night, obviously. I have 18 and over only adult conversation on my screen here. So I'd love if you guys have what you have to say about it too as we go along this. I love to hear what you have to say, always, your opinion and what you think matters. But we'll start with this journey. So this is what I want to start with. There was a man that I worked with, and he seemed like a normal guy. Well, one day he said to me, you know what, Tammy, I really love the color of hair you have. What color is that? I didn't think much of it. I had magenta, like reddish hair then. And so I went, thanks for the compliment, whatever. And the next thing I know, this man comes back into work not that long after, and he has the same color hair I do. He started growing his hair out. It used to be really short, and it grew longer down to about his shoulders. And I said, oh my gosh, you got the same hair color as I. And he's like, yeah, he kind of laughed it off or whatever. I didn't think much of it. Well, come to find out, it wasn't long after that he departed the place that we worked. And then I found out through a friend that was a close friend of his, he was in transitioning to become a woman. He didn't feel comfortable in his body. He didn't feel, hey, Steve, it's good to see you. He didn't feel comfortable in his body. So he decided he was going to go down this road, this journey to become a woman. He actually, with this individual person, lived in his parents' basement, took care of his parents until they passed away. Never was married, never in a serious relationship, basically played video games and lived in his parents' basement. Now, I'm not knocking that. People take care of their parents. I totally understand that. But once they passed away, all the inheritance and stuff this person got, he decided that he was going to use this money to start becoming a woman. And it was the hormones, the surgeries, the physical aspects. Hey, D-Dog, it's good to see you. Hey, I hope everything's going okay with you and your mom. I heard that she wasn't feeling well. So prayers have been sent up to you and your mom from me. So I hope everything's going okay, D-Dog. And you know what? I did see that you wanted to become a mod. I just saw that yesterday. So sorry that I missed it when you put it in there. And I will definitely make you a mod down the road here. So continuing on with this story, this person that I worked with ended up using this money and this inheritance. And mind you, I'm not judging it. Good, D-Dog, back home again. Awesome. This person has a right to do whatever he wants to do, right? A grown man, adult. He can use the inheritance, all the money, all what he wants to do with what he wants to do with it. I'm not judging that. And I'm going to tell you, I'm not judging anything. I'm just giving you an example of what I've been through with somebody who's become transgender, male to female. Okay. You're welcome, D-Dog. So what he decided to do was it's been hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he ended up getting transgender surgery. So he ended up getting the bottom done and the top done. He ended up doing a boudoir shoot so he could celebrate himself as a woman, was having the hormones. But the thing is, a friend of mine went through this transition with this person the whole way through and supported this person. So it was the whole journey of, I want this certain size breast. I want to look this way. What do I need to do for a facial regime? What do I need to do for this and that? So the whole kit and caboodle, I mean, every detail of this transition over this like 2 or 3 year period, a friend of mine went through with this person. And what's happened after this person has transitioned is what the big telltale story is with people that have a tendency to do this. And I'm not saying this is everybody. Once again, it's my experience with somebody one-on-one that has gone through this transition. This person now basically went from buying all this makeup and wanting to become feminine, looking feminine and all that, to now could care less about looking feminine. Basically, what we're seeing in the media is basically what he/she feels now, that I feel like a female even though I look like a male. He does not care anymore about the makeup, the hair, any of that stuff. Laughs at the fact that, yes, I am a woman, but I don't have to deal with periods and hormones and stuff like a woman does. So basically kind of slandering and laughing at the whole women aspect, everything that makes women women. He/she is laughing at the fact that they don't have to go through the pains of being a woman, that they can just reap the benefits of a male being a female. So he went through all this of wearing the great lingerie and having this great chest and all this stuff and wearing makeup and all that, to now doesn't care. Now, basically, what happened was this man used to compete in a different sport, and I'm not going to say what it is, but he used to compete in a sport, and he never used to win. He never did very well. He was always middle of the field or less than middle of the field, but he decided to become a woman and compete in the women's sport of the version of the sport that he did. So he thought he was going to go in there and just go ahead and beat the heck out of all these women and start taking all these trophies away and stuff. And the thing is, so far, he hasn't been able to do that. But his whole aspect is, I am a woman, I should compete as a woman, and I am a woman, hear me roar. And the fact that I said the other day on a show that men who don't do well in men's sports become and transition to women and compete in women's sports is so they can feel better than instead of less than, right? So he seriously looks like a man. He still sounds like a man. He no longer cares about doing hair and makeup, in a sense. Stop spending money on that. And his thing is now is what's going on, and this is what's trending in some of these stories that I have, and maybe you guys have seen on the internet, is these transgenders are saying, I have every single right as a human being to go into a women's restroom, and if you dare stop me, it's going to be the last thing that you do. And I have some examples from the internet that these men/women have been saying, because it seems like that's the new trend. First, it was, being exposed to our children and doing different dances and different things and reading books to our children. Now it's the threat that, hey, if you as a woman aren't comfortable with me whipping my what out in the women's restroom, and you have a problem with it, it's going to be the last thing that you do, because they're either going to take you out. Some of these people on Twitter, on this guy's website, Oil London, said they're going to fight you, they're going to take you out, they're going to file a complaint against you and all that. And unfortunately, this person that I have dealt with is the same thing. Every time he comes back to the city, his big thing is going to the place that he used to work and going through the women's restroom and daring anybody to say anything against it, because he's just waiting to sue the company, because if anybody complains that he is a male going into the female restroom, he can sue. So I'm like, how in the heck did we get here in society? And it's unfortunate, because this person, when I knew him as a male, seemed okay. Granted, I wasn't close to him, but I've been out with him a couple times since he's transitioned into a female. And it's this whole thing that I said the other day on my show. They're snarky. They're degrading to women. They mock women and what we go through and the emotions that we feel and stuff like that. And they have a sense of entitlement, and they expect us to accept them as women. However, they look nothing like women. They don't have the hormones as women. You can inject as many hormones in somebody as you want. It still doesn't make you a woman. So, and they're demanding. There still seems to be in him that whole male demanding thing, that whole male, listen, I am a male, even though I say I'm a female, and you need to do this and this and this. And it's very unfortunate, because he's not happy. That's the bottom line. My experience with him is, even though he's become a female, he's not happy, and he's always looking to start a fight. He's always looking to sue somebody because they aren't accepting him. He's always looking to posture. Since he's not winning in women's sports, he's still very angry. So there's something very unsettled in this person, and I'm not making light of it. What I say is the mental health issue is there, in my opinion. Anybody that can spend all that kind of money to transition to male/female, whatever way you switch it, and you're still not happy, that says a lot. And my experience with this person is, as this journey continues for him/her, there is no sense of happiness. There's no sense of feeling male or female. And he actually said that I've become asexual, and I don't ever want to have sex again. I don't want to have anything to do with that. I just want a partner, somebody that accepts me who I am, even though he doesn't know who he is, and deal with it. And the thing is, how you can't deal with somebody who's not happy in the first place, let alone that somebody that's so messed up and confused and angry all the time that they went through all this transitioning and they're still not happy. And it's just gotten to the point that, like I said, out there in the internet, in the social media world, it seems like not now these people that are transitioning, I don't care what age they're at, I still don't see anybody that's happy, and they're aggressive. They aren't pro women. They definitely aren't pro women. They mock women and the different things that we go through as women, and they don't like men. So once again, they are asexual. It's like they become robotic and platonic, and there's nothing, there's no emotion that they feel that's good other than anger, frustration, a sense of entitlement, a sense of, because I feel this way, you need to accept me for who I am, and this is how I am, and if you don't, you're a bad person. And it's crazy to me, and it's just gotten into this whole different level, in my opinion. Let's see. Stephen said adults can do what they want, but leave the children alone. Absolutely, Stephen. I 100% agree with you. The unfortunate thing is, as you look through these people, there's a lot of them that have been arrested or charged with different felonies and things against children. Not all of them. I'm not blanketing to all of them. But what I'm saying is, what I see out there is a lot of aggression, negativity, anger, frustration, a sense of entitlement, sense of they are emotionally crazy in the fact that if you don't call them the right pronouns, they have meltdowns and breakdowns. It's totally crazy to me. I just don't understand it. Hey, Brian, it's good to see you too. It's been a minute, so it's good to see you. So I'm going to get into what's a you know what. Right, exactly. So my personal experience, I know it's only one person, but one-on-one with this person is it's like they become women and they embrace the whole undergarment thing. They embrace the makeup, they embrace the femininity to a certain point, and then it's like it almost seems like it's too much work and they don't want to deal with it anymore, and then they want to slam women who do want to continue to be women and put themselves in the same level. I don't know about you, but back in the day, if I identified and said, you know what, I feel like a man, I'm going to walk into the guy's bathroom and I'm going to use the guy's bathroom, what would have happened then? So where did we go wrong, and what happened that all of a sudden, because we identify in our head as someone or something, that we're allowed to do these different decisions, make them, and everybody's supposed to accept it? It's getting to the point. It's insanity to me. It's insanity. It's almost like insanity is the norm, and the norm is no longer the norm, right? You are out of line if you become a normal person. So the one person I want to talk about is a man that identifies as a female, and the name is Tara. And he made a threat to women recently. And it says, he said, actually on a TikTok video of his, it says, I dare you to try and stop me from going into the women's bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make. Now, this is an overweight white male who has blondish, stringy hair that's parted to one side and glasses. He wears no makeup. There's no distinction of him being a female, but he simply identifies as a female. And he's making these threats to women that if I go into the bathroom and you say anything, it's the last thing that you're going to do. It's very vile. It's very violent. The good news is on this, there's somebody on Twitter that followed up with this person and turned this person's videos into the police and found out who this person was. He was actually a firefighter at one time, and I believe his name was Steve. Hey, Harvest Mary Moon, it is good to see you as well. And said, you know what? You should have thought of this before you made these videos. So this lady said that I've turned all this information and what you've had to say and these threats that you've made into the city police where we live, where you live. And it was a big mistake because, right, nobody's allowed to threaten anybody like that on the internet or in person or anything like that. But he just valiantly went out there on the YouTube world, Twitter world, and said, you know what, I'm going to walk into the women's bathroom. You don't like it? You don't like it. Too bad. And he actually said, if I whip out and it was a male part, because he still has males, everything. He looks totally male. Like I said, he's a heavy set white male, wears glasses, very plain, no makeup, just stringy hair. He doesn't even try to put any effort in to being a female. He just feels he's a female. So he feels that gives him the right to go into the women's restrooms. And then he put these threats out there. So the point I'm trying to make is we can't just sit aside and let these people do this. If we see this and we live in the city or an area that they're at, it's our, I think, civic duty, and it would be for the safety of the children to report these people to different police departments or whatever it may be, to say, hey, this person's making these threats and all this. My point is, what I've seen lately with these transgender people, what is exploding on the internet, Twitter and stuff, is their threats against society in general, like almost like they're daring people to come up against them. And it's not just one person, it's been a few people, and it's time to call that out and stand up for it. There is no understanding that. There is no trying to accept that. It is just, and the thing is, this man has also had accusations against him and violence against, and it's on record, against women. So he has different issues with women as it is. So now he's trying to, basically, they're saying, get back at women by being able to go into the restrooms, identifying as a male, and just slamming it out down everybody's throats. Hey, Cam, it's good to see you. Mr. says, Tammy, they're putting estrogen in the medication as a binder, yeah, I believe it. Just like the soy milk's not good and stuff. My son was telling me about that a couple years ago, and it is a demonic position. It is. There is no unity. There's no acceptance. You guys trying to swallow what these people are saying, that we need to accept them and we need to be all kind and giving and all this and that. They have this right to come out and be who they are. You know what? That may be, but when it comes to the children, or you're throwing it down our throats and you're saying violent things and threats against us, that is nothing to do with loving kindness, unity, and all that. In my opinion, they've ruined the rainbow as well. The rainbow flag and all that it's just taken on this demonic and negative and bad meaning. It's very sad to me. It is very sad. Then another tweet that I saw today was from that Oli of London, who is amazing, is there's a trans person that videotaped themselves experiencing their first intense period after HRT. So basically, this man or young teen that is supposedly female was talking about, make it stop, and had this heating pad on their stomach as if they have ovaries and were having cramps and stuff, rolling around their bed saying, if anybody says, hey, welcome to womanhood, I'm going to have a meltdown. That is totally mocking women. This person has no idea what it's like to have ovaries or a menstruation cycle at all. So we're supposed to allow this on TikTok. Like I said, these people are allowed to say and do anything they want on social media. They don't get edited. They don't get taken down, but we do. I have to sit here, and as I talk to you guys and we have this conversation, we have to watch what we say. We have to make sure we have all these disclaimers. It's totally one-sided. It's ridiculous and it's wrong. And it's disgusting. Another tweet that I saw today, which made me sick, was from on Twitter. This website, or this person that I follow, is called End Wokeness, and the tweet shows pictures, and it's 2 pictures, and it's from Denmark, and what used to be called the Women's Museum is now called the Gender Museum. And the picture of the meme that they put up from what used to be the Women's Museum was simply a robed woman nursing a baby. She's definitely female, sitting there nursing a baby. Now that is not there. Now the next thing you know, the normal thing that they feel is they've got this statue that they show, making fun of it in a sense. It's a male with a ponytail, with a beard, with women's breast, nursing a baby, naked, with male parts hanging from the parts that they hang from. So the point is, that is the normal. That's what's supposed to be normal now, that we're supposed to accept men with ponytails, beards, women's chests, but male parts nursing babies. I mean, I don't know how you get more twisted than that, because I don't know how we're supposed to accept that and think that as normal, or think that is a godly thing to do. There's male and female, in my opinion. Adam and Eve, the beginning of time, this whole thing of men looking like women and trying to look like women halfway, or women trying to look like men, it's just, to me, demonic and evil. And I'm going to come out and talk about it as much as I can. The other thing that came out was, if you guys didn't see it, was there's a Instagram influencer and model for a lingerie brand. She quit because there is a biological man that this lingerie brand is called Honey Burdette. It's an Australian lingerie brand company. It's Australian based. And what happened was, she's been a model for them for a long time. But what they've done recently is put this muscular male into this lingerie. And I can't show the picture, but if you have Twitter, you can look it up. It's from that Oli London person, and you can see it. In the picture, it's a definitely a male. He's muscular, believe it or not. And he's in a red brassiere, and he's got a red garter belt and red garters on. And he's posing with nail polish on. He's got a manly haircut. It's short, it's short on the sides, long on the top, but he's wearing makeup and he's posed. So she decided she's going to quit her partnership with this Honey Burdette brand from Australia, because now they've incorporated this male model as a female. So what's happening is they're branching from women's products to beer. They're taking all the male and female aspects and pulling all these transgenders as spokespersons or representatives with these brands. Like I said, they're trying to nullify the male and the female. And it's just disgusting. It's just got to stop. And, a lot of the current administration backs a lot of this stuff, whether you agree with it or not. I just know the past administration wouldn't tolerate this kind of stuff. And I'm hoping with the next administration that comes up, when we do our 2024 thing, that we get this straightened out, because like I said, between the AI, the different robots, the males not being males, the females not being females, I have no idea what kind of road we're going down. I just know that it's not a good road. It's not a road for the future. It's not a road for America. I keep saying, who's going to fight on the front lines if they're men in heels? We've got men in the military that are wearing skirts and makeup and necklaces and heels. And I don't buy it. The masculinity needs to be there and the femininity needs to be there. Don't forget, females are the only ones that can have children. Females are the only ones that can have babies. Okay. So if you wipe out the females, then there's no humanity anymore. There's no more humans. There's no more babies. There's no more anything. And then what are we going to be left with? I just say we got to keep fighting for the kids. We got to keep fighting for the teenagers. We got to keep fighting for masculinity and femininity, not acceptance of this crazy stuff that's going on. Samson had long hair. It's in the Bible. Long hair is absolutely, that's one thing. Long hair is one thing. He still was a man. He still had muscles, and he didn't put on lipstick and, back in the day, use berries, which is what they used to use for eyeshadow and stuff. He didn't do that to try to look feminine. He was masculine with long hair. It's okay. I'm talking about men that look like men that are dressing as women, and then influencing children. And with the internet and stuff, I don't care, you guys. We can say adults can do what adults want to do, what they want to do all the day long. But the problem is, with the internet and everything else, and with it influencing into the music industry, the acting industry, the modeling industry, and the internet, kids get exposed to it. Kids will find it it's out there rampant more than it is. You can more easily find a transgender person or websites that promote different surgeries and visuals of surgeries of young underage children that are transitioning from male to female. It's easier for you to find that, I think, than it is, some of the normal things in life, some of the values and standards we have in life under God's rule. Because even kids in elementary schools are told, don't be male, don't be female. We're going to let everybody just decide who they are as they go along the line. Everybody's going to mesh together. Pink is not just for girls and blue is not just for boys. So it's like a throwing in the melting pot of everything, that if you are a male or female or a God-loving person, that you are an extremist anymore. And that's just plain and simply wrong. It's bad news. Let me see. Harvest Mary Moon said, in archaeological digs, when they retrieve bones by the DNA, is only male and female, no in between. Amen to that, Harvest Mary Moon. That's true. Male and female. You listen to the Bible, you see what Adam and Eve, the beginning of time, it was from Adam's rib. He took a rib and he made females. God made females to accompany the males. There was no in between. Now, I think that, every generation has a different thing that they believe in, right? Every generation. But like I said many times, and I think you can agree, with only trying to drug people up with different medications and stuff, and not having therapy for people, not having mental institutions to treat people, that is a problem. That is what is failing in society. We are just enabling this destructive, addictive mental behaviors, and it's very sad to me. I don't think it's easy, and I believe a lot of these people believe that what they believe. I'm not knocking that. I'm not mocking that. What I'm saying, though, is until we see, and it's not happening as far as I know, that these people who transition are happy, content, loving, kind, and talking about God, that it's a-okay. Because nobody's doing that. Nobody's putting God first. They're putting their feelings and their wants and their humanly desires first. These doctors, I've said it before, that do these surgeries on these minor children should be held accountable. What kind of society are we that we allow these minor children to undergo life-changing surgeries? How do you explain that is a good thing down the road? How do you explain that as a good thing? Harvest Mary Moon said, go to your state law, look up when a minor becomes an adult, and then keep everything a record of the harassment and go file a complaint. Yeah, for their arrest. Absolutely. I mean, what kind of world, when you step back from this, you step back from all the emotion of, and it's always sexual, you guys, it's always sexual. These men that become female want to brag and wear lingerie. They want to be provocative. They want to do all this stuff. It's not like they become normal citizens in a sense. Male become female and they have a respectable attitude and they get these respectable jobs. It's all about the yelling, the screaming, the anger. You see teachers. How many times have we seen these teachers, the grooming of the children, and the teachers get mad and on these videos where they have emotional meltdowns and breakdowns because people don't call them the right pronouns. I mean, that's mental illness. That's mental illness, you guys. I talk about these babies, and I've seen on YouTube and all these different places, Twitter, these people put out videos, these males, they're overweight males, and they have these different, I don't know, there's some kind of suction things. It's almost like when people get that suctioning cups on their backs and stuff. It's supposed to be like a detox thing, but they put them on their chest. And what it is all the fat from their chest gets put in these suction cups, and they take the suction cups off and they give them temporary breasts. And I've seen the videos that these overweight men are so proud of their breasts, and he's sitting there doing videos, playing with his breasts and saying, "Look at these, aren't these beautiful?" This is so sick and twisted. Never in a million years did I think that society would come to this at all. Like you say, yeah, they can do it on their own in the quiet, but guess what? With social media and with doing videos and kids having access to it, kids are exposed to this, you guys. Kids see it. Even if they aren't so-called going after kids with social media now, kids can look it up. They type in something wrong on the internet, and the next thing you know, they're seeing things that they shouldn't be seeing. And what kind of debauchery is it that a man wants to film himself with these suction cups and making it just for anybody to see? If they really cared about not grooming or concerns about children and letting children keep their innocence, it would be modified where you would have to pay to go see this stuff. You know, it would be censored in the fact they would say, you know what, I don't want to influence young children. This content is for 18 and over. So if you want to see what I've experienced or what I could do or whatever, you can go to special places, adult places, and pay for it, or have codes and go see it there. But no, they just put it out there in general. And I don't see a lot of that taken down at all. But we have to worry about it. So that's where I say the corruption with the children comes into play. It's disgusting. Eastern medicine for daily life, Western for physical therapy. Yes. Social demoralization. That's true. Yes, Stephen, it is about the normalizing of that. It is grooming. And we always say that, you know, the devil, the negative, the dark always has to tell us what they have to do. They have to show us before they can do it. That is the rule of the law of God, right? That anything demonic, evil, or negative, they have to tell us and show us what they're doing. And then it is up to us to see it or not see it, accept it or not accept it. So that's very true. And that's what's running rampant. And it's so sad because so many people just don't even want to talk about this. They don't want to see it. They say it's disgusting, which it is, but they don't follow through with trying to change it, share it to other people, because knowledge is power. Burying your head in the sand is never going to take this away. This is why this stuff keeps growing and growing and growing and growing. When you think it can't get any worse, it always does. The stuff you can go on social media and just see so many things that are so disturbing, and it's not censored. It's not censored. Hey, Amy or Amy, it's good to see you. So this is another thing that's coming out, you guys, that's very disturbing to me. I saw this today and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So the new addition to the world and the community of people being who they are and what they want to be is adult babies. So what this adult babies thing is these people are videoing themselves once again for the general population. It's not censored, 18 and over. There's no warning labels on it. So our children under 18 can see it. What I've seen, I'm not seeing the women yet, but it's adult males that are in adult size cribs, and they have pacifiers. They wear diapers. They have little stuffed animals for comfort. They have bottles that they drink from. And what they're saying is it's so comforting to be able to come out and be an adult baby, because the benefits of being an adult baby is we can tell the person that is a friend of ours or a mommy or daddy of ours what we want, what we need, what we desire. So as an adult baby, we can actually talk about what makes us happy. We can actually tell them what our wants, desires, and needs are. And it's so disturbing. I saw this video today and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I don't know what's in this baby bottle, but it's a baby bottle. And once again, you guys, yep, adults can do what they want to do, but unfortunately, guess what? They're not doing it behind the scenes or in their own homes. They're filming themselves and putting it on social media for anybody and everybody to see. And I think when I think it can't get any more disturbing, because the brain is an amazing thing. We don't use very much of our brain, and it's amazing. So when these people come out and they're using their brain to talk about their diapers and how often they like it changed, what kind of baby powder they like, what kind of blankets they like to be put in their crib with, in their adult cribs, their special made cribs for adults, what kind of sheets they like to lay on. We're going down a whole road that I never thought existed. I never thought that I would see or experience. And my concern is for the children, is for the teenagers, the impressions that they're making on these kids. Like I said, they're going to see it. It's not like it's censored. It's not like this stuff is taken down or you have to go through hoops to be able to see it. It's just everywhere. Um, yes, Amy, it is disturbing. It is upside down. It is very upside down. It's just, I can't believe it. So that was another thing. So that's what's coming out next, you guys. Not just these trans people threatening you if you say or give them say anything about them going into the female's restroom. Now we have to deal with adult babies, and they just say accept it. That's the way we are. Another thing that came out today was you say, well, drag queens aren't so bad. It's only a certain amount of people here and there. And I agree, not all of them are bad, but it came out today that in Oregon, a special education teacher assistant and a drag queen was convicted on 11 felony accounts for child abuse, and it's the S word, abuse. The convicted person said they had an uncontrollable itch that she couldn't stop when around children. The self-described drag mom, who also groomed a 7-year-old child to become a drag performer, was sentenced to, guess how long this person was sentenced to? You guys want to guess? You can put a number in there. So they were convicted on 11 felony accounts for children abuse in different ways. Guess how long that they were sentenced to? I think this is pretty amazing too. It was an uncontrollable itch. So this person, I'll just go ahead and tell you, was sentenced to less than a year in jail. So 11 felony counts against a child, and they were sentenced to less than a year in jail. Now, we know people that have done less in this world that are serving time. Let's say the J6 people, and they're serving still all these years later, but this person gets to less than a year in jail. That makes absolutely no sense to me. 1 month, that's close to Harvest Mary Moon. Less than a year. So we do have to pay attention to this, you guys, because you can say, like I said earlier, a man or a female adult can do what they want to do, keep it away from the children. But the problem is it doesn't stay away from the children. And a lot of these influencers out there, I won't say a lot, there's a few that I've seen, I won't say a lot, have said they will not rest until all children have been exposed to the trans movement so they can decide who they are without any interference from parents, without any interference with anybody. But the thing is, they don't allow them just to be male or female. They want them to be the opposite sex or be whatever it is that isn't just normal. Because the kids that want to be normal, just a male or a female, and have conservative values, aren't accepted. They're the ones that are bullied now. They're the ones that are being accused of not being accepting of society and different people and different choices. They're the ones that are being shamed into submission, and that's just simply wrong. Donna says, Tammy, when all these men start getting, cancer from all these estrogen hormones. My mom is a breast cancer survivor, and her doctors told her to tell her daughters to stay away from extra estrogen. Yes, we don't know the outcomes of this. We have no idea of the long-term effects of this at all. All I know is here in society, we are enabling this. We are bending towards this. And I've said it on a show or two ago that these major corporations that are allowing these males that claim to be females be sponsors for beer, for the Tampax, for the Hershey bars, for Nike, the leggings, and stuff. That is what's going on. Ask yourself, what's going on? What are they trying to do? What is wrong? How in God's green earth, I'm just going to simply say it, does a company, multi-million, multi-billion dollar company like Nike justify a man, a young man even, being dressed in a women's sports top bra and leggings, women's leggings, justify that as a representation of society? Why can't they have men representing the males and females representing the females? And I'm still going to say, and I believe this wholeheartedly, men and women do their own sports. Trans people can have their whole separate thing. We do not have to accept that in our sports at all, because the lines are so blurred. The next thing you're going to know that in, let's say, the NFL or Major League Baseball, there's going to be minor kids that say, you know what? I want to be in there. I'm good enough to be there. And you need to accept me in there. There's such a slippery slope and just a glob of yucky muckiness that is going to happen. There needs to be competition. There needs to be a winner and a loser, not a participation trophy that we have now. Not everybody's equal. There needs to be competition that's healthy. The drive that people have to compete in a healthy way in sports is healthy. This all accepting of everything is crap, because I don't care how many hormones and estrogen a man gets injected in. He's still a man. You compete in female sports. Why do you think the men who think they're women are winning all against women? Why do you think that that's happening? They're not strong enough to compete in male sports, so now they want to take over the women's sports. And these men that become women actually do not like women. They don't support women. They mock women. They laugh and say, I don't have a period. Ha, ha, ha. I don't have to deal with that. Ha, ha, ha. My breasts are a lot perkier because mine are manufactured. You know what? There's a lot to say about a woman's body. And I don't care. You know what? Women give birth to humanity. Women can raise humans, little humans, into adults with nursing. A woman's body can hold, provide, and then outside of the body, when that baby's born, you can nurse a baby and you give that baby life and you sustain all the nourishment that baby needs. Okay? Men can't do that. These men that think it's okay to nurse, I've seen a lot of that too lately. These it's a female that has become a male and looks with the testosterone. They have beards and stuff, that actually carried a baby. They gave birth to the baby. Even though they identify as a man, they carried the baby. They're married to a man, okay? And they're nursing their baby. So it is a woman pretending to be a man, but being thankful to be a woman because they gave birth and can nurse their baby, but thankful that they can grow a beard too. You guys, to me, it's just so twisted. This is not what we're supposed to be. This is not what's supposed to happen in the world at all. It's not. God made men, God made women, and that's as simple as that. And we've gone to the other side. I say it's worse than Sodom and Gomorrah times. It's times that we're eradicating males and females. Not only that, AI is taking over. A lot of the robots are taking over, or like, you know, you go to the store and it's self-checkout and stuff like that. It's like, really, when you pull back, you think, what is the big picture of what's happening here? What's really going on? And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom. I'm just trying to say, listen, We need to wake up to what's going on. We can't just lay back and just say, hey, this is how it is nowadays. Things change, we grow. We're not growing towards God, in my opinion, as a society. And it's my opinion. You can counter it. You can defend your feelings about it as well. But I'm out here voicing my opinion. When we pay attention to God and God leads us, and that's it, we do well. You can look back to the Bible and the times how they failed trusting in God, they failed listening to God, and look what happened: destruction and the wiping out. And it's the Bible. It's biblical times, in my opinion. It's end times, and we need to do what we need with what we can as people to bring people to God, the light, and to say, this is enough. Enough is enough, and stand up for what we believe in. And the thing is, I'm proud to be a woman. Yep, I am proud to be a woman. I'm proud that I was able to give birth to 2 children. I'm proud at the age I'm at. God has granted me the gift of 2 healthy children. He's granted me the gift of life now, still living and breathing. He's granted me the calmness to be a woman, in the sense that, yeah, I'm aging, but I still like to have my nails done. I like to have my hair done. I still like to be fit. Just because I'm a certain age doesn't mean I'm giving up. Just because I'm a certain age doesn't mean I don't matter anymore. Everybody matters. And the thing is, I respect my elders. I respect the Bible and what it tells us. I respect what our lives are supposed to be in that, with Jesus and the Holy Spirit. I respect that. When you look at what's happening with these people in society, with the trans and stuff, they're not about God at all. They're about me, self-serving, entitlement. Okay? Accept me, because what I think in my head is real, and what you believe is not real is selfish, and it's prejudiced, and how dare you? There's nothing biblical, nothing holy, nothing loving, kind, and accepting about these people. Zero. And if I'm wrong, show me I'm wrong, and I'll say I'm wrong. But what I have seen in my own personal experience, what I see out there and the internet is debauchery. It's nasty. It's self-serving. It's not even like these men who become women want to try to be dignified and classy. They are nasty in the way they speak. They're nasty in the way they dress. And they're just, like I said, entitled. And that's not what womanhood is about at all. At all. Sodom and Gomorrah got fire and brimstone. That's true. And yeah, but AI, Harvest Mary Moon, yes. A couple other things that I had here too was there's another man that came out, and he's on Twitter, and his name is Kaylee. He identifies as a woman, and he brags about having the legal right to use women's restrooms. He says, it's my legal right in my state as a trans woman to use the bathroom I identify with. Okay? And he said, I dare you to say anything about it to anybody, because in my state, I get to go where I want to go. So once again, he could care less about the discomfort that he causes women or the young children in there. He could care less, because he feels in his state, because it's legal, he didn't say where he was from, that he's allowed to choose where he wants to go, and it doesn't matter. You can't do anything about it. So once again, it's not anything about a woman being calm, classy, dignified, going into the bathroom, doing your business, and leaving. It's all about, see, you can't do anything about it. Ha 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 ha. The taunting, the bragging, the see, you can't do anything about it. That doesn't come from God. God is nothing like what some of these people are. Nothing like it whatsoever. And I think it takes a lot to come out there and say that the way that we need to do as males and females and conservative people believing in God and what the scripture tells us, because the fingers are going to be pointed at us. We're going to be taken down. People are going to try to take us out. People are going to try to mock us and make fun of us, but that's what God told us is going to happen. But I'll be damned if when I cross over and I have to stand in front of God and I have to explain to him why I didn't stand up for what I knew was right and what I knew was wrong. Because at the end of times, it says in the Bible, when you accept good as evil and evil as good, that's a problem. It says it in scripture. And I'm not going to be one of those that do that. I don't care if I'm standing alone. I don't care if people don't like me. I don't care, because godly people and people who want what's best for the generations to come and our children know right from wrong. There's no blurred line here. Okay. The people that are doing surgeries on children, minor children, have some, in my opinion, moral issues, because to me, it's about the money, because they know that these children aren't in the right mind. Their mind isn't fermented enough to make that kind of decision that is going to last the rest of their lives. So my concern is, as well, you guys, is what's going to happen when these under 18-year-olds get to be 20, 30 years old. What are they going to be like? What are they going to feel like? We have no idea what the repercussions of everything is going to do at this point. And mentally, I've said before, depopulation. Hey, Cindy Fuller Steffens, it's good to see you. Until he goes into a bathroom with me in there. Donna, that's hilarious. That's the thing. Okay, so down the road, we see when we have these babies, okay, that are being raised by females that look like males, nursing them, who are, you're not even supposed to say you're a male or a female, a mom or a dad. You're supposed to say you're a birther or a birthing parent or whatever the term is. There's so many terms out there. I can't even make sense out of it anymore. I can't understand it, nor do I want to. There's no reason to even understand it. There's not. In the animal world, there's none of this trans crossing of anything. It's male and female. I mean, seriously, if the animals and species can get it right, humans need to get it right, and we need to fight to get this right and on the normal path again. Because it is all these children. And when I say that the extreme people, or the people that I don't even know how to label them, but the people that want to destroy the family unit, whoever they may be, left, right, anti-God, people that want to do this, it's the visual from the babies from the moment they're born, when they look up at, when they're being nursed, okay, and they look up at who is feeding them. And it's not a mom, it is a man that has a beard. That's going to mess them up as they get older. Or if there is a girl that tries to become a boy, or a boy that tries to become a girl under the age of 18, imagine, even though they're getting injected with these hormones, testosterone, estrogen, whatever it may be, they have these hormone blockers as well. What do you think that does to the mind? We know what drugs do to the mind. We know what alcohol does to the mind. We know what drugs do to the mind. We know if we take too much medication, prescription medication from doctors, what it can do to the mind and the body. Imagine what this exploratory stuff is going to do with these minor children when they get into the 20s and the 30s. Do you see any of them being in the military? Do you see any of them being sane enough to be able to hold a normal job, to be normal functioning citizens? Do you see that? I don't. And if I'm wrong, I'll admit I'm wrong down the road, but I don't see it. I don't see it. I see a lot of messed up people that are going to need help more so than they do now. Helping these people is not cutting off breast and body parts because they feel that right now under the age of 18. That is a detriment to these children and the psyche of America. Not only is it just a detriment to that individual that is getting that done, it's a detriment to their peers. These 18 and under children that are undergoing this, and the other peers that are seeing that done, what do you think that's doing to them? They're thinking, wow, should maybe I do that? Like maybe I'm not a male, maybe I'm not a female, because we know that teenagers are easily influenced. Teenagers do not want to listen to their parents or their grandparents. They listen to their peers. Okay. So even if they don't actually actively say that I'm trans or I'm changing and want to get the surgeries, it's still going to mess them up mentally. They don't know what a functional family is of a conservative family, a father, a mother, a brother, a sister. Because they're growing up with all these different pronouns and all these different uh, types of people. It's like a whole new species, in my opinion. It's not male and female. It's all this different kind of species that they come up with. And I can't even imagine that, you guys. As adults, us trying to make sense of it, or not even trying to make sense of it, but trying to say, how do we stop it? How do we change it? Is hard enough, but these children are impressionable. And unfortunately, I think it's going to have long lasting, devastating effects on them. And that's what concerns me, because they're exposed to it. This isn't isolated to, let's say there is a 14-year-old and the parents say, you know what? You're right. We're going to go get you the surgery. You're going to become the male that you want to become. And they go do that. And they do it in their own privacy. And they don't put it on social media. They don't have the pictures posted with the doctors who perform the surgery and the scar marks across the chest of the female that's no longer there. They want to do that. That's one thing. That's bad enough. But see, they don't do that. They usher it out there in social media. They expose it. They are proud of it. They like, look at what kindness we did. Look at how happy this child is going to be. So let's do follow up with these children. You as a family posted these pictures up there. You as a professional doctor who it takes an oath to heal and help people posted this picture with yourself and this minor child and the surgery you just did, cutting off this 14-year-old's breast to make her into a male. Let's see how this works for you and this child down the road, a few years down the road. Let's keep updates on these people and see what happens, because my hope is that it turns out well for these children. But unfortunately, it doesn't look that way, because the majority of people who are trans, who are drag queens, who are, the opposite of male, female, have high depression rates, have high unaliving rates, high rates of it, drug, alcohol, promiscuity. None of them are usually in a one-on-one long-term relationship. They're very promiscuous. And I'm just generalizing. Yes, I understand that. But you would think that if there was a couple out there that have been long-term in this, they would be out on the forefront saying, this is great what they're doing. This is great for these children. And a lot of them they're not saying that. There's nobody out there. Actually, there are different drag queens out there saying that children and what society is doing with the children is evil. They have no business doing that. All of this is for adults only, and there should be no children involved whatsoever. Children should not see it. Children should not be exposed to it. Children should not be at these different clubs handing out dollar bills. Children should not be taught how to twerk. A lot of them are taught to twerk and all these provocative moves. For some reason, in pulp culture these days, you see young girls. I saw a picture today of a young girl. She was in thigh-high black leather boots, dancing, and they were high heels, and then a short little dress. She looked like about 10 or 12 years old, and there were a bunch of adults around her, and here she is dancing up and down the line of adults, jumping down, doing splits, coming up off the ground, shaking her booty in these boots. It was so disturbing and disgusting, and these adults are videoing it, and they're clapping and egging her on. And I thought, what a morally corrupt group of people this is. Not only are they encouraging it for this young child, they're filming it. So it's going to be there forever, right? It's terrible. It's just terrible. And the last thing I have here is another person out here. This person came out, a trans activist, and Their name is Tara. I think it's the same person. Yeah, it's the same person I talked about earlier. I just forgot to join it in here. But she's the one, or he's the one that talked about restrooms and saying that he threatened to off women in women's restrooms, and it's called autogynephilactic. So it's AUTO gyne, GYNEPHILIAC, and it means he gets the S word aroused, adult aroused, by pretending to be a woman and seeks pleasure in intimidating and abusing women. He has an 18 plus Twitter account, and he talks about he is into age play, diapers, and the red liquid that comes out of our bodies, which means he's into that kind of play with that red liquid that comes out of our bodies. So he likes the violence against women, and dressing as a child is part of his excitement. So not only is he a male that looks male, that pretends to be female, he also likes to age play, meaning he likes to be a child wearing diapers. And he also likes to get involved in a violent aspect of it against women. And this is on his 18 plus Twitter. So at least he does have an 18 plus Twitter, but a lot of his stuff also goes on regular Twitter as well. And it says that this man has, even though it's on Twitter with all this nasty stuff, he's the one that has legal protections in some states to use women's only spaces and put women at risk and himself, as he claims to use women's restrooms every single day. So this person is going out there in society, knocking women, has all these different fetishes, has these different Twitter accounts, 18 plus, and then some of them are 18, not 18 plus. He's out there being able to be free to say and do whatever he wants, talking about these horrendous things. But then there's people like you and me that want to live a normal life, protect our children, have normal values, have morals and values, and believe in God. And we are the ones that get censored, and then we're the ones that have to worry about getting taken down off the internet and stuff. So that's just kind of sad, isn't it? It's really sad to me. Harvest Mary Moon said everything that's happened to the children being, yes, and is the worst of the worst. It is. And that's the whole thing, you guys, without social media, maybe some of this stuff has been around a long time, granted, with the male, female, female, male type of thing. And, I understand that's their business. They say we're not supposed to judge and all that. And I'm not. What I'm saying is being on social media and putting it out there like that is wrong, because children have access to it. Getting children involved is wrong, because they are the innocent. They are God's. God has a special place in his heart for the children. God has a special place in his heart for everybody. He wants everybody saved. He wants everybody to turn to him. Not everybody's going to. It's a free will, free choice thing. But you know what? God darn it, I'm going to call it out for what it is. That is my duty as a God-fearing woman. Like I said, I do not want to face God on Judgment Day and know that I sat back and just accepted it all and said, well, but God, I was trying to do the right thing and just be accepting. When you have the innocent children harmed and conditioned and, all that kind of stuff, that's where you got to step up and step out of your comfort zone. That's where God is watching. I know God is in control. God watches. God knows everything. God knows our hearts. But, I've said before, God needs warriors. Sometimes you got to stand up and stand out and take the risk. I don't worry about people not liking me. I don't worry about them coming after me that way. These evil, negative people that want to promote this stuff mean nothing to me. It's the children I'm worried about. It's facing Jesus is what I'm worried about. That's my concern. And if they were God-led, God-fearing people, they wouldn't come after us in the first place, would they? They wouldn't be going after the children, would they? So that's where you step back. And I always say, take your focus back, look at the bigger picture. What is really going on with all of this movement? The different levels of corruption in this movement, the different visuals that we're seeing. And, I'm going to take Sam Shepard, for instance. I talked about him the other night with his song Unholy. First of all, the title Unholy is bad enough, but if you watch the video, it's even worse. But what's actually happened to him? Did you see the change that has happened in him, how he used to look and how he used to perform and how he looks now and what he wears when he performs? When he was on that awards show the other night and he was wearing what he was wearing was very disturbing to me. That wasn't holy. The song's unholy, but it wasn't holy. It wasn't godlike. And the thing is, our kids listen to that music. Our kids have access to that music, even as a responsible parent. If you try to protect them from it, they may have friends that have it. They may go on the internet on a friend's phone if you take their phone away. There's always a way for them to have access to it. And that's what's so concerning to me. Why is it that these artists, these influencers, these musicians want to go after our children so much? Why do they not try to serve the adults in their performances? Why are they trying to appeal to the children on the cool aspect of it, of the I'm trendy, I'm this, I'm that? It's very scary to me sometimes. I pray a lot about it. But I look at the vocals of some songs now. I look at the outfits they wear. I look at the videos that they produce with these songs. And it's not usually good, you guys. It's not usually good. And I know that you know that. So, like I said, the attacks for our children come in all different ways. It comes in school. It comes in the clothes they wear. It comes in they want to simply be male or female. It comes in, you don't have a mom and a dad. You have a dad and a dad, but one of them claims to be a mom. You have whatever term, they, them, as parents. It's just, we just need to pray, you guys. We need to pray. We need to stay strong. We need to be aware of what's going on. And when something like that's in our town or our community, we need to talk against it. And we need to make calls to say we want this stopped in our communities. We don't want them in our schools influencing our children. We don't want the books on the shelves in our schools. We don't want them performing and having special performances for children in local restaurants or local bars, which you're not supposed to be under 21 to be in them anyways, but they have these special events that they allow the underage children in. So, you guys, it was just strong on my heart tonight to talk about this as a mother, as hopefully a grandmother down the road. I have friends who obviously just recently became grandparents, and I think, my gosh, to try to raise young children and society the way it is, it's hard. It's harsh. We have to talk about the things that we don't want to talk about. We have to get comfortable in the uncomfortableness of what's really going on out there. And, it is true that evil's running rampant, and we need to expose the dark by putting the light on it. We have to do the best we can do as God-believing, God-fearing people. I can't imagine, well, Jesus knows that, and God knows everything, but come on, Jesus didn't go to the cross for us and to forgive us our sins and give us everlasting life and to cheat death. We don't have to worry about death. He beat death for us to become a society of what we're becoming now. Male and female, family unit, doing right, follow the 10 commandments. It's as simple as that. Moses, he gave Moses the 10 commandments for us to follow. We look at all the idols over all the generations, the golden idols that they used to worship, the gods they used to worship. Now it doesn't even seem there's that many gods anymore. It's you either value God or you value the devil. You worship one or the other. all the symbols that are out there. You know, you start checking into that and it's right in our faces, because we always have to remember, you guys, that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. We're here temporarily. We're here to experience life as humans for a very short amount of time. But as the scripture says, we're here to build our treasures in heaven, not here, where they can be taken away with man or moss and all that. Whatever we have here doesn't matter. When we die, we don't take it with us, but we do take our morals, our values, what we representative as God's children, as the light of God, as his Holy Spirit on this earth. There is a lot of negativity, bad, and destruction. But if we stay in the Holy Trinity, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and God, we're going to be okay. And I guess that's the bottom line, is trying to influence and make people realize that we do have the strength in Jesus to overcome things, and the Lord to overcome this, that we don't have to sit back and accept it. Just because the majority may believe it doesn't mean it's true. The truth is the truth, and the lie is still a lie. It doesn't matter if you have to stand alone. We have to be courageous and strong for our children, our grandchildren. We have to fight for these babies and these generations that are up and coming. We have to fight the good fight and do right by God. And, you know, I believe that there is more good than evil in this world. And I just know I want to be on the right side of it. And I know you guys do too. So with that, I think that's going to be the end of the show. It's pretty late. It's almost 11:30 Eastern Standard Time, my time. And thanks for joining me, everybody. Thank you so much. And I look forward to chatting to you guys the next time. It was good to see a few of you I haven't seen in a while, and it's good to see the new people. And thank you once again, every single person for that joined me tonight. I love you all. Thank you so much. Stay strong. Keep the faith. There's a lot of good out there. There's a lot of joy out there to be found. You just got to look a little harder for it sometimes. So with that, I'm going to tell you good night. God bless. Take care. And I will definitely see you soon. Take care. Bye.